Hello, this is Fafnir, and I'm going to be doing a replay review for an offlane axe today. And the submitter of this was, he goes by the Twitter handle @apartment2f, I believe, and his name in Dota is Judge Brosner. And like I said, it's an offlane axe game, and he sent it to me looking for advice on the early game and going back and forth between the offlane and the jungle against two heroes early on. So it sounds like he's against a dual lane, which is a fairly common situation from axe. Just to get into before we go into there, if you want to send me in replay, you can go to our Reddit there, and there's a sticky thread at the top. You can just message me there, or you can just tweet at me on @FafnirDota on Twitter. That's how most people get to me. But anyway, let's start looking at axe. Axe is a very strong and popular hero right now. He can jungle very efficiently, and also he can offlane, or be run mid, or like a solo safe lane. Very strong laner, especially against melees, and is a good initiator with the BKB piercing seek crowd control. And his first ability, his Q, is that said BKB piercing crowd control. It is Berserker's Call, and any unit within an enemy unit or neutral within 300 radius of him is forced to attack axe. This has priority over everything else the hero can do, unless they are Legion dueled. It's a taunt, a special ability. So you'll come out of invis to attack them. You'll do anything you can unless you're stunned up or otherwise disarmed. You gain 40 bonus armor during the duration of the call, so it makes it so axe does not take as much damage as you'd think while he's utilizing this, especially from physical right clicks. And the duration, the cooldown and the duration both scale upwards, and the mana cost does increase. It starts out with just 2 seconds and goes all the way up to 3.2, which is quite a long time. And not only that, axe can move during this. So frequently, you actually don't want to stand still when you call them. You call them and you pull them out of position for those 3 seconds by walking away or pulling yourself back towards your team. Then his second skill is Battle Hunger, which is a debuff, which he places on the enemy unit. When the enemy unit has the debuff on them, they take a small amount of magic damage per every second for 10 seconds. And not that small, it adds up pretty quick, but it's a small tick individually. And they are slowed by 12%, and axe gains 12% bonus movement speed. So it's really great for chasing people down and harassing in lane. However, this debuff is removed if they get a last hit on a creep, enemy hero, or a neutral creep. So it's not that great to put on enemy if you're laning against someone and you're both last hitting and denying. It's not that great to harass him unless you can zone him from the wave, but it is really great to chase people down. And the cooldown is in the damage scale as you level it, so it's a pretty good value point. But you don't want to necessarily max it because you don't have the mana pool, especially early, to sustain casting it every 5 seconds. So there's not a ton of value to putting a bunch of points in it. Unless you're mid-axe and have a bottle, something like that, but that's kind of a specific situation. Then finally, the ability that really makes the hero is Counter Helix. It is what we call the spin. So every time axes attack, once he's skilled up this passive, he has a chance, 20% chance to spin. So he swings his axe around as a counter and does a certain amount of pure damage. This goes from 75 pure damage all the way up to 180. And changing it to pure damage from physical is one of the reasons that axe became a very strong hero in the meta again. Because before it was physical, so he did not scale great into the late game, but now it's pure, so he remains a good damage dealer even late, and it also means that he is not, like, you can't tank yourself up against him just by getting a bunch of armor items. So as I said, the damage increases as you level it, and then also the cooldown. So there's an internal cooldown. You can only spin so often, and the internal cooldown goes down as you level it. That's another big reason to level. You would need to max this first, absolutely, because having that internal cooldown go from 4.5 to all the way down to 0.3 means you get a lot more spins, just by the nature of the fact you can spin more frequently. And the spin chance is pseudo-random, so some with 20% you do get some spins, but there are times you are going to miss kills or that what you really should have had just because of bad luck. You don't get the spins. Then finally, his ultimate ability is called Calling Blade, and this is when he dunks them. He uses axe, and when an enemy is below the kill threshold, and the kill threshold scales up from 250, 325 to 400, they die instantly. Nothing can save them. Dazzle's Shallow Grave, which normally prevents death, doesn't save them. Oracle's ult does not save them. They just die. There's nothing in the game that saves them from being Culling Bladed. However, they do have to be within the kill threshold. If they are not within the kill threshold, you just do a relatively small amount of damage for using, an ultimate. You do 150, 250, 300. And now if you do kill them, everyone around you in 900 radius and yourself, you get a 30% move speed buff and a 30% attack speed buff. And also the cooldown is instantly reset. Normally the cooldown for a missed dunk is 75, 65, 55. But if you dunk someone successfully, you can dunk again, assuming you have the mana pool. Early on, you rarely have the mana to do multiple dunks, unless you've come fresh from the well. But it is really important to keep that in mind, that you can get multiple dunks off, which is, and the movement speed is also really important. And you can do some cool things with it. You can actually dunk couriers. I believe once you hit the level 3 ult, you can dunk couriers. You can also dunk lane creeps potentially, which is nice. It gives you a nice move speed buff for 6 seconds. And then if you get an Aghanim Scepter, the kill threshold goes up by quite a bit at each level, and the speed duration goes up, and the cooldown is greatly reduced even for missed dunks. So Aghanim Scepter is a very situational thing, but sometimes can be good. So let's go to the game. Where are you? That is not it. There it is. Here we are. Alright, we're Judge Brosner. The Axis perspective.
Prepare for battle!
Okay, let's see where it goes. Okay, didn't skip ahead too much. Looks like his starting items are good. You're laning an axe. If you're going to go straight jungle, you buy Iron Talon, and you just use that to kill hard camps very quickly. Ideally you want to kill 2 hard camps. Kill the hard camp at 30 seconds, and then kill the next one at a minute, and then you go kill a 3rd hard camp if you go Tango Iron Talon. But if you're going to lane him, Stout Shield is pretty mandatory. Ring of Protection builds into Tranquil Boots and Iron Talon if you're forced out, so it's a great value item. Plus, Axe does start with low armor, only a 1 armor base, so that 2 armor is a great value to him. And he starts Tango Salve, so good regen. So I like the starting items. Oh, that's one other thing to note about Axe. He does have higher than normal base regen, so he heals faster. So you can trade damage relatively more freely, especially early on in the game, because that base regen buff is quite big. So the one thing I'll say here is I probably would not have come to contest this rune. It's pretty scary when you know your whole team's there and Razor's blocking mid. There's just not many good things that happen. You don't get too close, but if, say, Skywrath had been there, I know he's bot, but if Skywrath had been up here and not shown, he could have concussive shotted you to slow you, you could have been daggered, you could have been pounced, you could have been cold snapped, you could have been hit with all these things potentially. This actually Invoker did go Exhort first, but what do you gain by going here and looking at the rune? Sometimes they won't be there, but overall, I'm not a huge fan of when I know I'm alone of going to the rune. But that's me, I don't like to YOLO play for 100 gold. So, first things first, let's see what you're doing. Okay, work on your blocking. It's really important to block in the offlane. It can really help you out, but you can always do better. Looks like your mouse is glitching out a little on you. Okay, yeah, that was a mouse glitch out, I'm pretty sure. Well, that would explain why you missed your block. Okay, so the first thing you have to do with an axe is you got to judge, what can I do in this lane? There are some lanes that you just need to sit back, get what XP you can until you hit level 2 or 3, and then you can start bullying people. And then there's lanes that you can absolutely bully and just shove them around and do whatever you want. And then there's lanes where you're like, you know what? Fuck this noise. We're going to go to jungle, because if I stay here, I'm just going to die over and over again. Frequently, if they have like a Kunkka Shadow Demon or a Lion CM Jug, like some sort of kill lane where they stun you, they slow you, and they just burst you down with magic nukes, and your spin isn't that relevant. But And that's one of the reasons it's very important to always skill counter helix, is that if you are forced to jungle, you can jungle. If you don't have counter helix, it's very, very, very slow to get level 2. But in this case, you're actually against a PA and a Slark. So you've got 2 melee carries, neither one of which is got significant magic nukes, and you can kind of just go whole hog on them. See, anytime they get near the creep wave, so kind of how Axe works in melee on melee matchups is anytime they come up to the creep wave, you punch them. And the reason you punch them is that so you're doing damage to them, and then if they try to right click you back, you're just gonna increase the chance that they get a counter helix and they take a 75 pure damage AoE hit. Additionally, you're gonna aggro their creeps, and so those creeps are all hitting you, so when they're this close, you know, you're going to have 4 units hitting you potentially, and you're almost certain going to get a spin pretty quickly. And so you're going to do 75 damage to them. So even though you're taking some white damage from at least 3 creeps, you end up winning these trades frequently. And you don't want to, like, shove the wave. You don't want to always aggro the creeps, but you want to control the wave. So if they're melee heroes and they're near the wave, you punish them for it, basically, is the goal. So, but, you know, you're just last hitting and denying here. That's fine, too. It's important to get your last hits in and get those harassed. Yeah, see, look at that spin. It just hits them so hard. Now, this is the first thing I'll disagree with. Well, Battle Hunger is a useful harass tool. I do not like getting it in lanes like this at level 2. And the simple reason for this is because when you got 2 melee carries who've shown that they're gonna get near the wave, like they did, like they just got near the wave and ate some spins. I like getting Berserker's Call, because Berserker's Call gives you that kill potential. Where if you get them harassed low and they get near the creep wave, you can just call them, and then they're gonna be forced to attack you, and then you really win the trade because you got that 40 bonus armor. And because the creeps are all attacking you, you're likely to get more spins. And at level 3, you've got massive kill potential with level 2 spin and Berserker's Call. Battle Hunger is good for lane domination, but it's a little risky, especially if you're putting it on the PA. Well, it does harass them. She has dagger, which she can use to easily last hit. So it's maybe not necessarily the best value for it. Yeah, see, look at that. She takes 2 spins in the Battle Hunger, and it just hurts. But she did get last hit eventually. Yeah, see, anytime they get near you like that, see, with how low they are, you could potentially be getting... See right there, she gets that last hit, so you basically wasted your mana for not much there. So, you just gotta make sure you try to use it here. It's there, anytime they're near the wave, punish them. And then once they're not near the wave, you actually want to de-aggro the creeps, because... So, yes, you're free-farming here and you're spinning here, but when you spin randomly like this, one, you are taking some white damage, and also you're pushing the wave into them, so they're able to get more. Like, ideally, as an Axe, you don't want to be in the situation where you're constantly shoving them under tower and then they can last hit under tower. You want to keep them away from the wave entirely, so they just can't get anything. But here, when they go under something like that, I wouldn't even necessarily run here. Okay, yeah, let's see. You can kill him. Yeah, there's easy kill.
Assassin.
Nice job. See, that's what I mean. Like, you didn't even have to run there. Like, yeah, you were low, but you didn't need to run.
No.
Oh, and Rick looks like Ricky went in and cleaned up, dived tower. Nice. And so you picked up your Tranquil Boots, and Tranquil Boots are always the way to go on Axe. Now, I've seen some pros just go Brown Boots straight Vanguard, but usually that's a situation where they're stacking Ancients, and it's a very specific situation where they skip it. But Axe is very low armor hero. The +3 armor from Tranquil Boots, plus the move speed and the passive regen is just, it fits his kit pretty perfectly. So, let's look at last hits. Yeah, look, you're out last hitting both of them combined. You've already gotten a kill. I think it's assist. Yeah, you got an assist on that one. So, yeah, see, when she comes up to the creep wave like this, yeah, you don't want to necessarily walk under tower though. Like, one of the other key things with Axe is abusing right-click damage. So let's say you wanted to shove this wave for whatever reason. If you click on the hero here and then just quickly issue a stop command, you'll still aggro those creeps. So if you want the creeps hitting you so you can get those spins, make sure to use that. And you can actually click on people on other areas of the map. So like, let's say no one was showing in your lane, you're like, man, and your creep waves are meeting, but you're like, I want to shove this wave. So you just go, you move your camera to mid, you just right click the invoker, even though he's far, far away, and the creeps are going to aggro on you as long as they're within 500 distance of your hero. It's just a little trick for Axe, and it's pretty darn useful for pushing lanes and farming once you get kind of online. So all this is good though.
Hardly.
So, yeah, you stun. Get the last hits, get those denies. Anytime she comes near the creeps, you can just punch her. But now the wave's pushing out, and this is good for you because this means that you're going to be able to control her a little more. So shoving. Okay. Yeah, see, they come near the wave, just dagger them and just pump fully them. You gotta be careful here with Slark's agility stats. And it looks like you're gonna die here. Yeah, you're dead.
The cruelest.
So this is one of those situations where you do need to be careful because every time, normally they can't trade with you at all, but every time Slark hits you, he takes 1 of your strength off from you. So basically he's doing an extra 20 HP damage there. So you can't let yourself get too low like that. You just kind of need to, once they've gone started harassing you heavily or stealing stats, just back away, let your tranquil boots heal you up, and keep yourself topped up. So you be aggressive when you have full health, because they do have some kill potential in this lane, as they do. So now Ricky's here getting some XP, that's good. You bought yourself a TP. Oh, and here's again, so this is a bad skill up. You skilled Battle Hunger again. All this does is increase the damage by 50%, which is nice, and decrease that cooldown. But if you'd had Berserker's Call, per se, when they both jumped on you, you could have potentially called them, gotten that 40 bonus armor, and maybe, well, the stat steal would have really hurt you. Their right clicks basically do nothing to you then. So there's a chance you would have gotten enough spins to get a return kill, or maybe killed them both and walk away. Like, you know, these things do happen. So really do not want no points in Berserker's Call, except for very specific situations where you're not going to get a chance to get kills, and this is not it. And Slark is never a good target for Battle Hunger because you can just purge it off with Dark Pact, just like that. You just immediately hit Q and it's gone. So pretty much if you're going to put it on anyone, PA. Now this is one of those situations where, like I said, this isn't necessarily good. So you just bullied them away. You've got the Ricky here. There's no way they can approach this creep wave. Why are you tanking this creep wave? If you tank this creep wave, yeah, you're going to get all the last hits for sure, and that's easy. But instead, you're going to push the wave in, and then it's going to go in the last under tower. Now, maybe you're able to dive them, maybe you're not. But if you're not thinking that you can definitely dive them safely and kill them, then why not just control the wave, last hit normally, and if they come near it, then you aggressively run at them as an axe and just get those spins. Just freeze the wave up here and just last hit like you would if you were a safe lane carry. Now, there are situations where you maybe are going to bully them even more and hit creeps, push the lane in and try to take the tower, but I don't think this is that situation, simply because Ricky doesn't really help you.
Denied.
Radiant's middle tower is taking a drubbing. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
See, and this is an example. See, right here, they're able to last hit. They're able to last hit freely because they have the safety of the tower, and that's all just because you push the wave in. There's no reason to. You're right there. See, you get the nice call. You're in the middle of the creep wave, and it's gonna be a double kill, I think.
Where do you come from?
Yep. Oh, okay. Could have been a double kill, but if you'd Battle Hunger the PA maybe. But yeah, that just shows the potential. When you get that Berserker's Call and they get aggressive on you, you just call them, and then they just melt, and you don't take any damage. Okay, so, and this is something else I noticed you doing when I... So, first of all, you use Berserker's Call to farm a single stack. This is really inefficient because it uses up 80 mana, so now you cannot Berserker's Call again. So when they come back to lane, you don't have kill potential anymore, unless they really screw up and go on you. Like, you're not going to be able to run them down because you don't have mana for Battle Hunger, so you can't chase them down with that. You don't have Berserker's Call, so if they do something dumb, like get into melee range with both the heroes and the full creep wave, like they just did when you got the kill of Slark, you can't Berserker's Call. And you did this for an extra 40 armor to tank these creeps, which you didn't really need. You're a level 5 axe, and you don't need it. Additionally, you should have level 3 counter helix at level 5. There's just no point to have 2 points in Battle Hunger, and not having level 3 counter helix is a pretty big deal for your overall DPS ability. And then the final point is when you have Tranquil Boots and you're jungling and Sax doing jungle camps, set them on the ground. Just put them on the ground, and what that means is, yeah, you lose that 3 armor, but you don't take, the cooldown doesn't go to 13 seconds where you're not getting that regen. So you set them on the ground, you jungle this camp just by punching it and getting spins, and then once you're done, you pick up your boots, and then the boots are still operating at 12 HP regen per second, and then you get your 12 HP regen per second, and you just heal up. It's dropping your Tranquil Boots is how you jungle efficiently as Axe. See, this does, even using Berserker's Call, you took a fair amount of health damage to kill this camp, especially once these little guys died and you couldn't get as many spins. Yeah, you took 600 health damage, 400 health damage. Also, you can buy this ring of health in the side shop. There's no reason for you to buy it and call the courier. You can just walk over here and get it faster. See, now you're in a situation where you don't have mana and you don't have health, and you could have both, and you could just kill the Slark easily. Instead, you can kind of walk at him aggressively, but you're not going to be able to kill him. Yeah, if you had mana, you could absolutely kill the Slark.
Give it up.
Oh, what's going on here? Oh no! The Ricky saves you and you have to back up. So, yeah, in that situation, like I said, if you just don't waste your Berserker's Call and drop your Tranquil Boots, that's a free kill. You get another free kill. And here, again, you're dropping you're using Berserker's Call, and you're not dropping your Tranquil Boots, which means you're not going to, and you also don't have a level 3 counter helix. If you have a level 3 counter helix, you kill that camp much easier, and if you drop your Tranquil Boots, you'd, again, drop them again, because you have more HP because you dropped them the first time. Instead, now you pretty much have to go back to base or suicide. It looks like you're opting to go back to base, which is a fine choice. You do have 300 gold. Maybe you don't want to spend that. And will we lapse this? I am noting I didn't talk about this yet. You went opting to go for Tranquil Boots Vanguard first. This is like a farming type build, and usually you want to go Vanguard first only if you... if that's a good Battle Hunger target, yeah, just walk and call it out. Yep. That Pudge is a dead Pudge. Nice. So Vanguard first is a farming build. Usually utilized if you have like prep stacks in the jungle or in Ancients, because Vanguard lets you basically take 0 damage and you can just run around farming them. And that's why people skill Tranquil Boots when they go Vanguard first. But you are not.
Come and get it.
You are not. Oh man, you wasted a call there. So now you have no mana. You have limited mana for a call, and you just took over half your health and damage just because you tanked under tower for no reason. So if you just let the creep wave move forward here, you don't take all those tower shots. Each tower shot's 110 damage. It's a lot of damage. And again, you wasted your call. Oh man, and you misskilled. So max counter helix. At level 7, your counter helix has to be maxed. Like, you don't have nearly the kill potential you could have. Each spin would be doing 70 more pure damage, and you get more spins. Instead, you've got 2 points of call, which adds 0.4 second to the duration, which isn't significant, very significant. And also, it increases the mana cost, which does matter. So you wasted mana and health, and you're just giving them a free wave now. And if you just tank the creeps out here, that'd be fine. The other way, if you want to pressure the tower, like this Slark is level 5 and he's low, if you want to pressure this tower and try to take it early, what you want to do is you actually want to creep cut. So what you do is you walk around here with the Ricky, and you tank those creeps back here. and then your creeps run into the tower and they start punching on the tower and doing damage to it, because you just annihilate creep waves very quickly here, and then you put immense pressure on the Slark to last hit under tower, and then also since he's very low with no regen, you could also potentially dive in that situation. So you kill the creep wave here, and then your creep wave's under tower to tank it, and you just battle hunger him and run at him, and he has to TP away or juke you into the trees or something, or he's dead. So I mean, you've given up most of your health and resource mana and no kill potential, and you've given some Slark some free farm. You could definitely be dominating this lane, even more than you have. And you've been doing pretty well, honestly. You've got a kill, you've got 3 assists, 1 death. Again, drop your ankle boots when you can. And stop using Berserker's Call to farm. You need your mana to get kills. And this is a lane where you can definitely get kills.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh. He gets and he's zealous adroitly, and it's just fine. And again, this is the situation with where you are again pushing the wave into the tower, which is nice, but you're also kind of letting the Slark off the hook here. And letting him last hit under tower. If you just controlled him and made it so he couldn't go near the wave, but I guess you're just in farm mode, which is fine. It's definitely a way to approach it, but I would personally be looking to take the tower myself. See, because each time you do this jungle rotation inefficiently, you're just allowing that Slark to catch up. Now it looks like you're heading to the secret shop to get your Vanguard. But yeah, so if you hadn't gone to the Vanguard first, this Ring of Health has helped you. Just dropping your Tranquil Boots would have given you the sustain you've needed to do this jungling. And then you could be almost to your Blink Dagger. So then you have a 12-minute Blink Dagger with max counter helix, which point, like, this is a double kill. Like, right here, if you have your Blink, or even your Call, like, you could have just run at them, called what does the Pudge have? Yeah, Pudge just has regular boots. You've got Tranquil Boots, and you're a faster hero to begin with, and you can just battle hunger him, run at him, call him. And that's just a matter again of you just misused your mana, but you definitely could have killed that Pudge. Now instead you kind of farm which is good, defending your tower, but you're just missing out on kills here when you were just so much stronger than them. Okay, and now you're level 8. You're putting out. Finally putting more points in counter helix. It's good, but just delaying your max counter helix tonight is pretty bad. And kind of auto attacking the wave. You could just be zoning them. Or if you're looking to take the tower now, you have a Vanguard now, so you can guide you to the tower.
I'll take that.
Middle tower is under attack.
Okay. This is a prime time to dive him, actually. Like, if you just click right-click him and aggro these creeps to get the spins you need to just blow up the creep wave, and then you could have just run at him with that battle hunger. But instead, you're just being very passive and pushing in the lane and not diving them, using this Vanguard. Like, you bought this Vanguard and instead of using it, you're just kind of farming with it, which isn't the worst idea. Okay, looks like you're buying Chainmail and now Blink. Like, you don't go Blade Mail. Vanguard is an option on Axe, but Blink is just so core. Like, you want to get your Blink sub 15 minutes no matter what, and then once you have that Blink, you just need to go around the map making kills. Especially when it's a tri-core team where you have a Slark and a PvP that really shut down and dominated. If you're gonna sit there and wait for the rune, that's fine, but stack a camp while you're waiting. There's no point in... Like, if you'd stack that camp, you're creating an extra 200 gold for you. Meanwhile, that rune, you can stack ancients, like that's an extra 220 gold on average. And instead you get this rune, which is 75 gold, which is nice, and some XP, but you know, you get more XP and more gold by stacking the ancients. You could have done both. You could have just stacked this dragon camp in there. And again, you've got a Vanguard. You don't care about ancients. You could actually kill an ancient stack, and again, you're just wasting your mana. So, as an axe, that's the other thing. Like, you don't, if you're gonna go into farm mode here, you need to not only conserve your mana, you need to make sure you have a mana sustain item. So whether that's a stick or a raindrop in this case, I think is typically what you're gonna want to go on this axe nowadays. In the past, people would get clarities or bottle, but as an offlane axe, I think just getting a casual raindrop and maybe a stick is really all you need. Because that way when you're fighting, you can get that little burst of mana. And these spells are all relatively cheap, so just having a casual stick and a raindrop to go in your 2 of your inventory slots is really good.
Again, you
call. Yeah, oh, you just call and walked into the tower. Camera positioning's awful and just feed yourself. Let's go back, like, to where... Okay, I'm gonna go free camera. Let's look at where your camera was during this, and then I'm gonna go free camera. So we know where your camera was during this. Okay, let's go here. We're gonna speed up. You look here, you're like, okay, mid's open. Farm this wave. Not that bad, the maggot spins. Okay, so your camera stays on your hero, up high. You don't see anything. So let's go free camera. Now, if you're really going to push this wave aggressively, you actually want to have the camera here or here to see what's coming up. Yeah, they just walk up to you and just nuke you down. You get disabled, nuke down, and you're dead. Just feeding them. And that's just a matter of, like, if you're going to push a tower, that's fine, but don't push it underneath the tower. Like, creep cutting behind the tower is preferable, but you don't really want to do that mid. People are more likely to respond mid. Yeah, it was just a feed. You just walked up with no vision, no sight on the mid hero. Invoker wasn't anywhere on the map, and you just were, like, you had a camera here, so you, like, had no chance of, if they came from this way, you'd see them, but, you know, that's just what it was. Quick feed. Which is a big deal, because you are, I think, most farmed here on the map. Nope, Invoker is. Especially now they got the kill. So now you're buying components to Blade Mail. Again, this is a really bad build. Like, if you're not comfortable using a Blink Dagger, you should not be playing Axe. And if you're going to go Vanguard build, you should just be turbo farming until you get that Blink Dagger. A Blade Mail is a core item on Axe, is not what enables him to get kills. Blade Mail just enhances his kill potential and gives him a better mana pool, some armor. It gives him all these things that he needs, but what Axe really needs is a way to just get on top of people to get Berserker's Call off. That's how the hero functions. So mobility is key. So it looks like you're just TPing top, you want pressure there. See, if you had a blink right now, this is a dead Pudge. You just blink, or this dead Skywrath. You just blink on the Skywrath or the Pudge, you call them, and then Witch Doctor comes in with a cask, and it's over for them. Instead, looks like you're going to try to get sneaky. Yep, Battle Hunger. Really? You could have just run at that Pudge and called him. Like, that's a kill. You've got a Witch Doctor here who's lurking, who has his ult. He's got a Max Maledict and a Coconut. Like, just once you Battle Hunger that Pudge, run at him. Like, he has to run back to his tower. He's here. You're cutting him off. You put Battle Hunger, and you just angle up here, and he has to try to juke you. If he jukes towards the trees, the Witch Doctor's in position to cask him, and then you can easily get off a call. And if he runs to his tower, you can get him. And yeah, he's a Pudge, so he could hook you and start ulting you. But again, you've got the backup of this Witch Doctor, who could just cask to cancel it, and then throws down a Maledict and his ult, and combine that with your ability to spin, and just right punch him, and he's dead. And you're a very tanky boy. You've got 1300 HP, and you're an Axe. So, you know, just be aggressive when you've got these strengths. Axe is very much an early game hero in that, like, he scales well late, but his power peak is right around now when he's got a Blink and Vanguard, and he's just very tanky and can just kill people with his spins. Because 180 pure damage is a massive portion of it. You know, the Pudge is 1000 HP. You're doing over 10% of his health every time you get a spin, and you're using it right. So once you have a Vanguard, you don't really need to worry about dropping things, because you look, these creeps actually do 0 damage to you. You took 0 damage. And it looks like there's fighting down bot. You know, if they're still fighting, look at this fight. So this whole time, I was talking about jungling, this and that. Witch Doctor actually TP'd down bottom and participated. And that's what you should be doing as an Axe. Like, an Axe can be a farming hero. You can farm him and get some great items on him. But with a Razor or Riki to slow them, a Razor to run them down, and a Witch Doctor cast, like, there's no reason you couldn't TP down there and participate and get kills as well. You're playing this very passively, and you're not getting like the core items you need. Like blade.
Structures are fortified.
See? Okay. That was just a missed call. That will happen. You watch them walk up aggressively to you, but you gotta kind of run past him and then call him. You could have gotten it potentially. This is fine, but you're just auto attacking the wave. You're not last hitting. You can't not last hit on Axe. Like, yeah, I know. Like, you can get lazy on him by walking into creep waves, but in there are situations like that when you're right clicking, you gotta just last hit like normal. You can't screw around and just like right click because you're Axe. I mean, you can do that with jungle camps. You can do that when you're tanking the wave. But in that case, you weren't tanking the wave, so you need to just right click it. Okay, there comes the Slark. Go to battle under the Slark again, which is meaningless because he has Dark Pact and it's off cooldown pretty much instantly. See a shadow. Now he has a shadow aim. Interesting. That's what he's doing. So,
Death's bounty.
battle hunger him is a little way to harass. It's fine. I mean, you do get the speed bump. Okay, they're coming up to fight. Are they smoking? Oh man, she went in on us. Easy call. Oh, you missed the call, man. Gotta just... Yep, nice dunk. Oh, man, your Witch Doctor is going for it. Why aren't you going for it? Why aren't you going for it? Man, you were Axe. Like, don't farm creeps here. Like, there's a fight going on. Run in there. Why are you killing creeps? Yeah, your Witch Doctor's pinging you, because you've got a Vanguard. If you'd ran in and take that tower, he's just dead. Right now, just run at this thing. What are you gonna do? Your Axe. Why are you scared of him?
Is under attack.
You got a sniper here to do damage. Just walk in, call. Yeah. Riki comes in. Yep, there's the spins. Spins hit Slark through his ult. That's why he's so good on Slark. College hooks you, ults you. Now you think you're dead. You're dead. That's gonna happen to you, Zach. Sometimes you get divey and things get a little crazy. But that whole fight, like, what did you accomplish? You did dunk the punch, that was great. But you missed a call, you farmed some creeps, then only after you're being pinged out, and you just kind of wandered around the outskirts of the fight instead of aggressively looking to control up heroes, be a tanky frontliner to allow your Riki, your Witch Doctor, and your Sniper to do damage. Like, you weren't doing any of that. You just kind of hit some creeps here, you hit some creeps here, and then you finally said, oh yeah, there's a fight going on. We can dive this Slark, because Riki was up here after he went after people. And then you did get the kill there. But you gotta be paying attention to the fight. Like, don't stop to farm a creep wave. Like, run it. You gotta just run at people's Axe. Now you finished up your blade mail. I'm hoping you go blink next, because if you don't, like, I'll probably have to stop it right there, because you just fundamentally do not understand how the hero works. And then hopefully after the video comes out, you'll
Dyer's bottom tower is
I don't
under
like you
attack.
buying this tome. It's very greedy of you. So look at the levels. Your Riki's actually pretty well leveled, but your Witch Doctor's level 8. He needs the frickin' tome. A level 2 Death Ward is a pretty big upgrade. I wouldn't buy it for him necessarily, but you're an Axe. You got a Vanguard and you're an Axe. You farm incredibly fast, actually. You don't need to buy this tome. It's just a very greedy choice.
Dyer's middle tower is under
It's a
attack.
team game. So, alright, these fights. Looks like they tried. Didn't get any kills, though. Now, you're going to TP back top as well. You're actually down in towers. It's kind of amazing to me. Given the start you had, you could have definitely been cutting the creep wave and putting pressure on the tower and taking it. Like, there's no reason you couldn't do that. Especially going Vanguard first like you did. Once you've gone Vanguard first, okay, a smoke play. I like this, but you immediately broke smoke for no reason to auto-cut creep, and now you look like you're running back towards the fight. strikes a miss. Slark's coming in. Yeah, but see, if you had a blink here, you could just blink on top of the Slark and he's dead. Instead, you catch the Invoker, that's good. You pop your Blade Mail a little late. As soon as you get the call off, pop your Blade Mail. It's just that extra little bit of damage. Now you got the dunk. Nice. Okay. So they did kill the Slark. Sniper got gone on, so your team did finish it off. But if you had a Blink Dagger, you could have been there faster. Maybe save the Sniper. Hopefully they're going to push with this. Nope. Looks like you're going back to farming. Now, farming the Ancients is good. See, you don't even need to call this. Like, look, you take basically no damage from this. You don't need to drop your Tranquils. You've got the guard. You're so tanky. But if I were you, you just killed 2 of them. I would have gone taken an objective. And the way where you could have taken that objective is if you just walked straight top with your other 2 heroes who are looking to push, and just walked behind the tower, and just tank the creep wave here with your Vanguard. You'll take basically no damage. You kill the entire creep wave, get a whole creep wave worth of farm, which is a lot of gold and a lot of XP. And then your creeps can just hit the tower and passively pressure. And if they then proceed to TPP heroes in, you can just walk away most of the time. Or, in the case of you have a Riki and a Witch Doctor here and a single hero TPs in, you can just kill them. You've got creeps here that are tanking the tower for you, so you can just run in, get the call off, and then, you know, let Riki and Witch Doctor do their thing. And that puts pressure on the other team and gets you gold. Instead, you're just kind of passively farming Ancients, which isn't the worst thing, but you just kill 2 cores. Take advantage, take towers. Instead, you kind of don't contribute to anything. For now, other than trying to get your blink up, which is your next item. So, look again, you're waiting around for the rune. Invisibility, okay, works out. And rune control is important. I'm fine with you getting runes in general, but I would have looked to maybe stack that hard camp at 53 seconds and get the rune. Oh, there's an Invoker. Now, the one thing I will say with Invis runes like this situation is you, yes, should absolutely be looking for a kill with it, but you do need to be aware there is a Riki on your team, so the chances that they bring sentries do exist. So you have to be a little more careful this game. Now, if there was no Riki in the game, you could be a little more aggressive with it. But as it is, like, if you just wait, well, we'll see what you do. I think you know what the play is. Oh, yeah. Okay, you missed the call on all of them. Yeah. So, in that situation, you gotta just be patient and get the double call off on them. You're invis, they don't know you're there. There's no reason for you not to just get the double call off. So there's still to work on. Pop your Blade Mail. Okay, Sunstreak got you. Yeah, and that's just, you know, looks like your team's gonna clean this up though. So it was fine. Like, I like what you did there. You're looking to capitalize on that Invis rune. I think they saw you, and that's why they backed up with this sentry. Yeah, they saw you, so that's why you missed the call. But you just need to, if they see it back up something like that, call is a long cast animation. You kind of have to be like past them or through them to get the call off, if that makes sense. And your Razor's freaking AFK or something. But yeah, so, but imagine if you had a blink. So when you were invis there, you could have just blinked. Instead of having to walk in a perfect position, you could have hung out in the side, blinked on them in the middle of the creep wave, and gotten the call then. So, also, you were maxing Battle Hunger over call. This is just wrong. Like, the extra seconds that you get from Berserker's Call is a really big deal, and as is the cooldown duration. You want to be getting off multiple calls in a fight, or canceling TPs with it, that sort of thing. So, while getting a value point in Battle Hunger is definitely worth it, you should always be maxing Call and counter Helix unless you're in a very specific laning matchup, like mid, where you can spamming Battle Hunger is a very important thing. But we're no longer in the laning phase. You're roaming around looking for kills. You're looking for fights. Battle Hunger is not getting off one Battle Hunger gives you that movement speed. Getting off 2 Battle Hungers for more movement speed is great, but it's just not something that's worth investing 3 more skill points in compared to what you could have with Berserker's Call maxed. So at this point, I think you need to look at the situation and say, do not have my blink yet. I need to just take some time to farm. You've been constantly looking for fights, which is a good thing as Axe. It's like what you do. You look for fights. But you really need your blink to make these fights effective. As it is, you've been trying to like walk up on people, battle hunger, and run at them. And so it's been less than effective. If you can just blink from fog, it's just you're just getting kills left and right in this game. Like you see where they are, like, and then you run at them from the fog, and then they just run away from you. And then, you know, Ricky follows up or Witchstarter follows up, and it works out overall for your team. You are getting more out of these kills. But if you have a blink, these kills are so much cleaner, and you can just take towers off them because it's 1 for nothing instead of like 2 for 1s, and people are low in health. Instead, it's just dead hero. Okay, take a tower. So, yeah, looking like this video is already about 45 minutes, which is about how long I like to have them. I think we covered most of the early game. There was a lot to talk about in here. Within your laning phase, your item choices, your decisions, how you managed in team fights. So I actually think I'm gonna watch. I think there might be another team fight here. Let's see if you guys fight this top tower. Yeah, you and the Ricky are looking. Yeah, you can kill this PA. Yeah, see, watch. You battle hunger. She walks away. Yep, see right there. Okay. I'm not gonna talk about that anymore, but that just demonstrated why you need a blink dagger. If you have a blink dagger, that's an easy kill. You just blink on the PA and you call her, and she's dead. Like, Ricky smoke clouds are after that, so she can't even get away. You just spin on her a bunch, and then she dies. And you pop your blade mail after you go jump in. Hopefully she crits you, and you just blade mail the crap out of her. So, yeah, I don't have a whole lot else here to say. So I'm just going to go to, again, you can follow me on Twitter at Fafnir Dota, and also follow the DotP show. They put out a lot of good Dota podcasts, one every day of the week. Also my own vids, and then they have got some other cool things going on too. And if you follow the show account, they'll link you to kind of everything that's going around. So, hope everyone enjoyed it. Feel free to leave comments or tweet at me with criticisms, thoughts, or your own replays to look at.